Hello friends and welcome to another video lesson from DBR Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. Okay, this video is called Remainder in SQL. It is still part of the playlist called Math using SQL. And here we'll be learning how to get the remainder in division. As you have learned in the first video of this playlist, I hope you did, the SQL operator for division is the slash. Let's look at an example of division in SQL. So select 50/5, which is division, as V underscore quotient from dual. So this expression over here is doing division, 50 divided by 5. Okay, and it's just giving it an alias of V quotient so that when it displays the output, it will have that as the column heading. Okay, let's execute this. So 50 divided by 5 is 10, and that is the result of the query. Actually, I'm just calling it a query, but in fact, it is not necessarily taking those values from a certain table. This dual table is just a pseudo table of Oracle, so that, like a placeholder, if you will, so that because it's a must in a select statement to have a from clause, and for that from clause to mention a table name. But in reality, it's not really taking that value, any of those values from the table dual, but simply doing this computation and then displaying it to you. So that's division for you in Oracle SQL. And the quotient, as you can see, is 10. Okay. Now, here in this case, there is no remainder. It's exactly, the answer is exactly 10. 50 divided by 5 is exactly 10. There's no remainder. Now let's try division that will have a remainder in it. Okay. Okay, let me just execute that one. Select 50 divided by 7 from dual. So as you can see, the quotient in this example definitely has a remainder. How do we know? Because the answer has decimal values to it. Okay, so it's not 7, but it's 7.14, etc. So it's a long decimal value in the quotient. So that means there is a remainder to this division, okay? In SQL, the function used to get the remainder of division is called mod, M-O-D, which is short for modulus. Let's look at an example and discuss the syntax, okay? I'll show you how the mod function is used. Okay, so select mod parentheses 50, 7. So the rest of the command looks familiar. The only thing that is new to you is this part, mod. So like I said, mod is a number function that returns to you the remainder of division. Mod is short for modulus, and being a function, it comes with a pair of parentheses for plural, and it requires you to pass two parameters. The first one being the dividend, and the second one being the divisor. I hope I got it right in my primary school mathematics, okay? So that means 50, in this example, 50 divided by 7, and whatever is the remainder, it should display it here, okay? So let's run this now. Now we have a remainder. If you could imagine, most adults would be able to handle this. So you can mentally divide this, how 1 came about. So 50 divided by 7, the closest whole number in that division is 7. But we also know that division is the opposite or the reverse of multiplication. So we do a reverse. 7 times 7 is 49. And 50 minus 49 gives you a remainder of 1. That is why the result of select mod 50, 7 is 1, because that's the remainder of the division, okay? What will happen is that, so in this mod, like I said, that is the syntax, mod, and then two parameters, and then it's dividing the first by the second parameter, and then giving you the remainder, okay? This time, let's try using mod while dividing numbers that won't have a remainder. So you'll see the difference. So the syntax will be the same. It will still be mod and then two parameters to it, the dividend and the divisor. And it will give you, when you run this, it will give you the remainder, if any. So select mod 50, comma 10, etc. Okay, let's execute this. As you can see, the mod being returned to you is 0, meaning there is no remainder in this division. And you can check mentally. 50 divided by 10 is exactly 5. And 5 times 10, the reverse, is 50. Okay, so there is really no remainder. So when now you have seen mod in action in two scenarios. One wherein it has a remainder, and in another wherein it has no remainder. Okay, so in this short video, we've learned about the number function called mod, short for modulus, and it is used to give you the remainder of division. And the function consists of two parameters, the dividend and the divisor, separated by a comma, and then it will give you the remainder. There are two possibilities. It could either give you a value, a whole number, positive whole number as a remainder, or it will give you 0. Okay. Before we end this video, let me leave you with a question. What is one benefit of using the mod function? So actually, besides knowing the remainder of division, it can be used to know whether a number is even or odd. Okay. And how is that? Only by dividing the number by 2. So let's say this, in this same select statement, I will just edit the second parameter by 2. So the second parameter, replace it by 2 with 2. And we can use this to determine if the number 50, first parameter, is an odd or an even number. Of course, by the looks of it, you know it's an even number because it ends in 0. But anyway, just for illustration, let's run this. So this is obviously an even number, but let's just see. So how do we know it's even? Because the modulus or remainder is 0. Okay. If it is an odd number, then you will see. Let's just make it 51. So 51 divided by 2, and then it gives you the remainder. If it has a remainder of greater than 0, especially 1, then it's an odd number. Okay, so that is one use of the mod function, the modulus function. Okay, thank you for watching and listening, and I hope you've learned from this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.